everyone. I'm Roseanne Haven with breaking news coverage you can count on. This evening we have a situation where two Mobile police officers have been shot at two separate locations. What can you tell us, Blake?
Roseanne, right now it's still all unfolding. Mobile Metro Jail is on complete lockdown right now here. Emmanuel Street is blocked off in front of the jail. You can see officers right now. They have this complete street blocked off.
This is Lawrence Wallace Jr. He is the suspect who's believed to be involved in the shooting of two police officers this afternoon.
Black man that got arrested ended up stabbing the guy in the neck, the police officer, and then he took off in the police officer's car, and he went to go back it up, and he went out forward and he crashed through the docking station.
Now I'm told that we have Randy Lowe, photojournalist Randy Lowe, standing by at USA Medical Center.
Roseanne, yeah, I pulled up right after the ambulance had pulled into the emergency entrance. Dozens of cops, police officers already here, very shaken. Several police officers still showing up to the scene. Everyone on their cell phones, waiting anxiously to hear some news about their fellow police officer.
This is live breaking news. You are seeing here the scene of where one of two Mobile police officers has been shot. This is off of Dauphin Island Parkway. We are told DIP is currently shut down. You will not be allowed on Dauphin Island Parkway as there is a very dangerous situation underway. A full-out manhunt, an all-scale manhunt underway for Lawrence Wallace Jr.
Corporal Levy, what can you tell us at this point?
We have an incident involving a suspect that has escaped from police. He has hurt at least two officers, and we have him. We've got him hemmed up under a house right now.
We have just learned from Barbara Drummond, the spokesperson for the city of Mobile, that one of the Mobile police officers has died. A manhunt is underway for what is now a cop killer.
Long ago, maybe within the last 15 minutes, horrific cries of family members as they came out of the emergency room.
This man is still trapped underneath the home, and while you're out here, you know, we can hear the sounds of more tear gas canisters going off, as well as shotgun shells trying to force this man out of the house. But at this point, they say he is still trapped underneath this house and has not come out yet.
Now, again, the suspect, who is now an accused cop killer. Take a look at this man, and I want you to listen. We're going to listen to what he had to say.
Hey, though, you know, according to Penny, I told him make sure y'all get that whole 36 right there. You see that, Don? You see that? That's a whole 36. If you want it, you can get a split. That's a 9 right there. You know what I'm talking about? According to Penny, my uptown, what it is, I'll be out before I reach down there.
He was being transported to Metro Jail on a robbery charge. And somehow or another, there was an altercation with the officer in the Sally Port. He stabbed the officer, took his patrol car, escaped the Sally Port with the officer's patrol car, and fled, and he was pursued to this location where we have him now.
Now we're going to go live to News 5's Debbie Williams. She is standing by live from USA Medical Center.
Both officers were taken to USA Medical Center just an hour ago when all this stuff went down at Mobile Metro Jail. I'm going to step out of the way and let you, Randy Lowe, our photographer, zoom into the emergency entrance where you can see there's probably a dozen or more right there at the entrance of folks concerned about the health and well-being of the officers that were injured in this incident. Of course, we do know that one officer has passed away. Family members were here just a few minutes ago.
The suspect, Lawrence Wallace Jr., the man accused of killing one Mobile police officer and injuring others, is dead. He has been killed, apparently, in this standoff.
Tell you, hindsight is 20/20, but when you look at that perp walk and you watch him come out with that necklace on, and what surprises me even more than the necklace being around his neck is the ability for him in handcuffs behind his back, as you'll see, to reach forward and be able to get a grasp of that necklace or what could be a blade inside of that necklace. And you can see that right there, I'm not speculating, but I'm just wondering whether or not he was able to use leverage with his hands in front, being in handcuffs. You see that he could do it right there.
And we do know at this point that a key piece of evidence that the police are interested in is that perp walk. Homicide detectives called News 5 specifically to get a copy of this video right now.
But you can count on total team coverage tonight on News 5 at 10 o'clock. Even Mel
From WKRG News 5, the Gulf Coast news leader in high definition. The news starts now.
This is a tragedy, and my prayers go out to the family and to my other law enforcement brothers and sisters because they're hurting also.
First on 5, a Mobile police officer killed in the line of duty. The man who stabbed him is dead. Hello everyone, I'm Roseanne Haven. Mel Showers has the night off. Mobile police have one less officer on the force tonight after a deadly attack at Mobile Metro Jail. Here's the newest information. The officer killed has been identified as 36-year-old Stephen Green. He leaves behind a wife and 3 children. Police say a robbery and arson suspect stabbed Officer Green while the suspect was being processed in the Sally Port at Metro Jail. This is Lawrence Wallace Jr. hours before he fatally stabbed the police officer. Handcuffed with his arms behind his back, Wallace is very talkative, playing to the news cameras. It's as though he's enjoying telling us what he's getting ready to do. Watch this video very closely when Wallace reaches for his necklace. News 5 has shared this video with Mobile police. When we slow it down, Wallace appears to fold the pendant and slide something out of it and slip it in between his fingers. Listen to what he says afterward.
My time, what it is, I'll be out before I reach down there.
He says, "I'll be out before I reach down there." After he gets in the back of the police car and the door shuts, he smiles for the cameras, still running his mouth. He says, "I'll see y'all in a minute."
This all part of the movie, man. I'll see y'all in a minute.
What we didn't know about this movie, as he smugly called it, was the officer you see to the left, opening the door to the police car, would be victim to his deadly plot. Officer Stephen Green.
This is a sad day for law enforcement across the country and in the city of Mobile. We are a family, and that's why you've seen so much support.
Wallace stabbed Officer Green inside the Sally Port of Metro Jail. This witness never even saw the weapon.
What I saw was whenever the police officer was bringing him in, after he took off his cuffs, he ended up stabbing the black man that got arrested, ended up stabbing the guy in the neck, the police officer, and then he took off in the police officer's car, and he went to go back it up, and he went out forward, and he crashed through the docking station, and that's all I saw from there.
Armed with a gun, Wallace took off for a neighborhood off Dauphin Island Parkway in the officer's car. He ran underneath his house on Daytona Drive, where he shot a second officer. After holding sharpshooters, tactical units, and SWAT team members at bay for 3.5 hours, Wallace's movie came to a silent end, with him in a body bag, and the community with one less officer to serve and protect. Officer Mark Johnson was shot on Daytona Drive as he pursued the suspect. Police say he was shot in the arm. Tonight, he's recovering at home. We have team coverage of this tragedy. Our reporters are standing by live. Let's first go to News 5's Blake Brown. He's live at Mobile Metro Jail where this whole thing started. Blake.
That's right, Roseanne. Chief Williams says he was notified about 3:50 this afternoon that Officer Green had been stabbed here at Sally Port at Mobile Metro Jail. He wouldn't comment at this time earlier tonight whether the necklace around the suspect's neck that you just saw a moment ago was the weapon used. Now, again, this is Sally Port where it all went down this afternoon, and all night you see crews right now working to fix this garage door. The inmate that you just saw drove the officer's car through that door this afternoon, again, sometime after 3:30. We spoke to Police Chief Williams earlier tonight about the ordeal, and here's what he had to say.
During the incident, the suspect was able to gain the car keys from the officer, entered the officer's vehicle, fled Metro Jail, Sally Port, to an area south of DIP, south on DIP. Some of our police officers identified the officer's car, got behind the suspect, tracked him to Daytona Drive. We are a grieving law enforcement family. We have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of healing to do.
Again, you can hear the emotion right there in Chief Williams' voice. That was just about an hour ago at Mobile Police Headquarters. Again, you're looking live right now at Sallyport. That is where this all went down this afternoon, Roseanne. And again, crews are here tonight. They're working on this door. They said they're probably going to be here all night because on the other side of this garage door, on the other side of Sallyport, is also another garage door. This is the exit. That was the entrance. And so the suspect allegedly came out of this garage door this afternoon after he stabbed Officer Green. For now, reporting live in downtown Mobile at Mobile Metro Jail, Blake Brown, News 5.
Thanks, Blake. The suspect's mad dash to get away after killing Officer Green probably took only 15 minutes. Mobile Metro Jail on Royal Street is less than 8 miles away from Daytona Drive off Dauphin Island Parkway. And that's where the suspect bolted from the patrol car and he hid under a house. Chaos quickly erupted in that part of Mobile. News 5's Alan Carter spent the evening in the neighborhood, and he has more on what took place for 3.5 hours.
The beginning of the end started in this neighborhood at this house on Daytona Drive.
It was a very tense time here off of Dauphin Island Parkway. Officers, of course, pursued the suspect. There was multiple times where there was gunfire back and forth.
After leading police on a chase, that suspect, Lawrence Wallace Jr., barricaded himself inside this home in a standoff that lasted more than 2 hours. Law enforcement worked to get him out.
Our SWAT team, or the city SWAT team, after establishing a perimeter, trying less than lethal methods, gas deploying into the house, trying to get him to come out.
But rounds of tear gas quickly transitioned to rounds of gunfire, leaving another officer wounded at the scene, the second law enforcement casualty. But officials say that officer's injuries are not life-threatening. He'll be released from the hospital this evening. Then police forced to take the house and the life of the suspect.
We're glad it's over, obviously, and it's unfortunate that we can't say in this instance that it ended without anybody being hurt. So it's a very tragic incident which has come to an end.
But we have every reason to believe that this case was a justified shooting by the officer. And as with all officer-related shootings, it will be presented to the it will be presented to the grand jury.
With the standoff over, the mindsets of officers on the scene shifted from combative to grieving after the loss of the Mobile police officer. But for investigators, it will still be a very long night.
We expect them to be out here the majority of the night, maybe well into the morning, to make sure that they process the scene and do everything that they need to do to make sure that this case is investigated thoroughly and concluded.
Minutes after the stabbing and shooting, ambulances started rolling up at USA Medical Center. Officer Mark Johnson was treated and released. Officer Stephen Green would not survive. News 5's Debbie Williams is live at USA Medical Center with that part of the story. Debbie?
Roseanne, gone are all the police cars, the family and the friends and supporters that were here throughout most of the late afternoon and early evening on what has been a terrible night for Mobile City. As soon as the ambulances arrived, so did police officers, family, and friends. And then without notice, what Mayor Sam Jones called a very sad day turned into heartbreak.
This is something that you never want to do, never have to want to do in my job.
Mobile police officer Stephen Green died shortly after arriving at USA Medical Center.
This officer was very, very excited about being a police officer. It's something he wanted to do, something he enjoyed doing, and people respected him for what he did because he was one of our best officers.
A husband and father, he'd only been with the police force 2 years. Mayor Jones and Chief Williams had given him his badge.
This is a tragedy, and my prayers go out to the family and to my other law enforcement brothers and sisters because they're hurting also.
Throughout the evening, support for the fallen officer grew.
This is a sad day for law enforcement across the country and in the city of Mobile. We are a family.
And part of Officer Green's family was here at the hospital. His wife was here, and a large part of his family. His mother, we're told, is traveling from Huntsville to Mobile tonight. Live from USA Medical Center, Debbie Williams, News 5.
Thank you, Debbie. We have much more coverage on the Mobile police officer killed, including a look at neighbors who watched all of the danger unfold. And hundreds of you are writing your condolences to Officer Stephen Green's family on WKRG's Facebook fan page. Again, Officer Green was 36 years old, a husband and a father of 3. He will not be forgotten.